The Deuce is a program created and produced by David Simon, who did The Wire and Treme. And if you're used to his style of program, then The Deuce is very much similar. This is about the pornographic industry. The first 90-minute episode, the lead in the program is James Franco, who you may well know from a lot of Hollywood movies. This is his first real kind of television work.
No, it's not.
Is it not? What was... Oh, sorry,
Freaks
you're
and
right.
Geeks. My favourite thing in the world.
I do apologise.
It's his return to television.
And he plays a kind of family man who's not getting on with his wife, and he's working a number of jobs, and he's involved in kind of, not organised crime, but he certainly has a link with kind of like the shady underworld of New York.
Which one are you talking about? Because he plays twin brothers.
Well, I was coming to that. I was saying the first one. He's not directly involved in organised crime, but he's paying off people and dealing in kind of like dodgy alcohol and things like that. But he kind of shuns away from like, real organised crime. He's not a mob member. And you follow his storyline through. He splits up with his wife. He loses one of his jobs and gets this idea of putting his waitresses in kind of skimpy leotards as a way to kind of boost business in one of his businesses. This attracts the attention of the local pimps, who are very much the second part of the show. So you see very much there's 3 or 4 of them that recruit new girls. They run the city. They run the prostitution rings. The third kind of branch of it is obviously we follow some of the prostitutes, and the main prostitute that we're following is Maggie Gyllenhaal. I think that the main thing in this first episode, which it looks amazing, and it paints New York as such a downtrodden, really grimy, horrible place to live and work in. It's showing you really that kind of, like it did in Baltimore, it's kind of showing you the worst of it at the beginning. Right at the end, as I think Matt alluded to, James Franco is playing 2 characters. He's playing a twin brother. In the first episode, a lot of people keep coming up to James Franco and saying, "You owe us money," and he goes, "Nope, not me, my brother." And at the end, you work out why, because it's James Franco playing both characters, so he obviously look twin brothers.
Did you not get that early on? Because I got that early on.
I would have got it early on.
I just assumed that it was someone
Didn't
that
we
he
see
looked
the
like.
other? Sorry, didn't we see the other twin before the end of the episode?
Yeah, not at the beginning, though. At the end. When he walked into the bar at the end.
When Gary does the recaps, I feel like I am watched it.
I watched this programme very carefully. I can tell you now that the second James Franco character didn't appear to me at the end.
I watched the first half an hour, and I'd already seen the second James Franco, and then I watched the rest of it later on.
I don't think so.
Luke, you're with me, aren't you, on this?
No, well, it doesn't matter. We're not going to argue. We're not going to argue.
Right,
we're just going to move
on. Give me an hour and a half.
Matt, what did you think of The Deuce?
I was not a big fan, I have to say. I just didn't find anyone really that interesting, or I didn't like the world we were in. I couldn't find much story in this. This felt to me like you were with the characters mainly. There wasn't a lot of story. As Gary said, you've got the pimps trying to find new prostitutes, you've got the James Franco playing the brothers story, and you've got Maggie Gyllenhaal, which was my favourite part of it. I thought she was brilliant. I loved the scene with the birthday boy bit with the train and things like that, and I just thought that was brilliant. It was just a bit, as Gary said, it was a bit grimy. I found it quite hard going. I liked the story near the end with the college girl who...
Yes, I like her.
Yeah, the girl from Minnesota.
I wish you'd let me have my own opinions, Matt, because it seems like we don't have...
But no, I mean, I wasn't a massive fan. I don't know if, like, as you say, the second episode goes more into the pornographic industry, so maybe it's a different kettle of fish from this first one, but I wasn't wowed by it.
I don't know whether it's kettles. There's no kettles involved.
Oh, okay. But I was just going to say, I mean, I was a massive fan of Treme, and a lot of people weren't taken with it in the same way they were The Wire, because The Wire had a massive plot, whereas Treme really was focused on the characters. Like this is as well, but this I didn't find any characters that I particularly wanted to spend a lot of time with. I didn't have a lot of time for either James Franco and the pimps. They just, pimps.
I feel very similar to you. I was taken initially by, as Gary said, it looked fantastic the way they've recreated New York. I don't know how they've done it, but it looked fantastic, and I was drawn in by that. Part of me felt drawn in simply because of the pedigree behind it. aside from Maggie Gyllenhaal and that college girl character, I struggled to connect with anyone. And I've seen the next 2 episodes, and it's very James Franco heavy. I don't rate either of the characters he plays. I tend to switch off mentally when they're both on screen or when he's on screen. I don't know. It's only 8, so I might watch it in a quieter time. But I need a focus, and there isn't one enough.
I think I can see both your points. I can see that, as you say, there isn't a lot of plot line in the first episode. It is very much character driven. But I think...
But I don't think it is character driven. I think it's like...
Well, it is character driven, but the characters you don't really want driving you around.
But I think what I'm saying is that I liked what I saw, because I do feel like he is telling a story. I do feel like there's something there. And I don't mind James Franco. So I have to say I slightly disagree with Luke. I think he was very good. I didn't like the twin thing. I do agree with you there, but all throughout that first episode, I didn't mind that we spent most of it following him around. I think I'll keep watching The Deuce. I don't get the impression Matt will, and it sounds like Luke might try and catch up nearer the end after he's found out if I liked it anymore.